There is a strange fatigue that doesn't come from work, or lack of sleep, or even stress. It comes from pretending, from smiling when you don't agree, from saying, "I'm fine," when you are not, from choosing polite answers instead of honest ones. Because honesty, strangely, is not always welcome in the world. We grow up learning small lies first. Be polite. Don't say that. That might hurt someone's feelings. And slowly, we understand that truth must often be softened, edited, or hidden completely. Not because we want to deceive, but because honesty can make people uncomfortable. And discomfort is something society quietly avoids. You notice it everywhere. In conversations where nobody says what they truly think. In friendships held together by politeness instead of closeness. In workplaces where enthusiasm is performed more than felt. Someone asks, "Why do you want this job?" And everyone knows the real answer. To live, to pay rent, to survive. But the expected answer becomes a story about passion, ambition, lifelong dreams. So we learn to translate truth into acceptable fiction. And after enough repetition, the performance becomes automatic. Even the news begins to feel uncertain. Stories shaped to persuade. Facts arranged into narratives. Voices speaking confidently, while something inside you senses that reality is more complicated than presented. It creates a quiet confusion. If everyone edits the truth, where does honesty live? I remember realizing how often I adjusted myself without noticing. Laughing at things I didn't find funny. Agreeing to avoid tension. Saying I liked situations that exhausted me. Not out of manipulation, but out of adaptation. Because belonging sometimes feels conditional. Be agreeable. Be easy. Be convenient. And slowly, a deeper question appears. If I am always adjusting my truth, do people actually know me? Or only the version that feels safe to accept? The hardest lie is rarely the one told to others. It is the one we tell ourselves. I'm okay with this. This doesn't bother me. This is just how life is. We say it to keep moving forward, to avoid difficult changes, to maintain stability. Because honesty can rearrange everything. Admitting dissatisfaction may require action. Admitting loneliness may require vulnerability. Admitting unhappiness may mean facing uncertainty, and uncertainty is frightening. So the quiet agreement continues. We pretend not to notice the pretending, but something inside us always knows. You feel it as tension after conversations, as exhaustion after social roles, as relief when you finally sit alone and don't have to perform. Alone, honesty returns naturally. No explanations, no scripts, no careful wording, just presence. For a long time, I thought honesty meant saying everything exactly as it is, but I began understanding something softer. Honesty is not brutality. It is alignment. It's the gentle moment when your inner experience and your outer life stop contradicting each other. Not every truth needs to be spoken loudly, but every truth deserves to be acknowledged inside. Because constant pretending slowly disconnects us from ourselves, and that disconnection is exhausting. Maybe people lie so often not because they are dishonest, but because they are afraid. Afraid of rejection, conflict, loss, being misunderstood. Sometimes lies are simply protection learned too early, and realizing this changes something. you begin seeing less deception and more vulnerability hidden beneath it, including your own. What if honesty doesn't mean removing all masks at once? What if it begins quietly, by no longer lying to yourself? Admitting what you feel, what you need, what no longer fits your life, even if nothing changes immediately. Because inner honesty creates a strange kind of peace. You stop fighting your own awareness, and slowly, the world feels less confusing. Not because lies disappear, but because you no longer depend on them to belong. Maybe the goal was never to live in a perfectly honest world. Maybe it is simply to become a place where truth can exist safely inside you. A space where you don't have to pretend when nobody is watching. And maybe that quiet integrity is enough. I wonder, when was the last time you told the complete truth, at least to yourself? I will be here again soon. Until then, take gentle care of yourself.